My sermon is going to be, the topic is going to be No One is a Stranger. A few years ago, I went to a certain store regularly on Fridays to window shop and talk to strangers. Yes, strangers, because I was new in the area. I would get engaged in conversation with salespeople and shoppers to talk about the products and the weathers. One day I met a jewelry sales lady who was lonely and wanted to talk to someone. I realized she had just moved from the Midwest and she did not have family in Connecticut like me. I was new in the community too. I have just moved from Minnesota, and I guess we both have something in common. I spent my entire time talking to the lady. She would ask me to stay around if she had customer to help, to continue our conversation. However, it was a few days to Thanksgiving, and I invited the woman to have Thanksgiving with me and my sons. The woman was incredibly happy and accepted my invitation. This behavior was normal in the community I grew up in, to invite strangers to eat with us. I was born in Liberia, West Africa. I grew up with a diverse culture, and there was no one considered a stranger. There are so many stigmas and discrimination living in American society, where status and race matter. We overlook talents and gifts from those who look different from us. Where is your culture and values to help your neighbors with food or kindness? There are so many hungry people in our community, spiritually broken and cannot afford 3 meals a day. My sons are first generation American born in my family. They do not understand my perception of no one is a stranger. At the time, my son was living on college campus when I invited the lady to eat Thanksgiving dinner with us. They could not fathom my invitation for a stranger to come to our home for dinner. They were surprised, but not surprised of the mom. Culturally, in Liberia, we call our elders aunties and uncles. They do not have to be our blood relatives. One day my kids asked me, "Who is our biological relative?" I laughed and responded, "They are all family." I saw my mother helping strangers and giving food to the less fortunate in my neighborhood I grew up in. We did not have food pantries or a place to get free food, but people share with each other the little they have. We have an old ritual of doing good in Liberia that states, "God will bless you." This is a common saying in Liberia. I learned kindness from my mother, who taught me compassion, empathy towards others, and the importance to share and welcome and feed those who do not look like us. This is all because my mother was a social worker, and her passion for helping others inspired me to become a social worker as well, and to make nobody feel like a stranger. The world has surplus food, yet there are 783 million people in the world. One in eight Connecticut residents experienced food insecurity in 2022. The number of people considered food insecure rose from 90,000 to 470,000 in Connecticut. Food insecurity, defined as U.S. Agriculture Department, is not enough food to eat and not knowing where the next meal is going to come from. Hunger is complicated. It is just not empty stomach or no food. It can impact the mental health of people. About 1 in 10 people go to bed hungry in the world every night. Hunger affects everyone. People living in the developed world also have extreme poverty and lack of nutritional food According to the World Hunger Facts, there is enough food in the world to feed everyone, yet people are lack of food. Even God wants us to eat to be able to serve him and to do his work. From the Old Testament 1 King 19:4-8, Elijah went on the day's journey in the wilderness and came down and sat under the solitary bloom tree. He asked that he might die. It is enough now, O Lord. Take away my life, for I am no better than my ancestors. Then he lied down under the broom tree and slept. Suddenly the angel touched him and said to him, "Get up and eat." He looked, and at his head was a big bread and a glass of water. He ate and drank and lied down again. The angel of the Lord came the second time and touched him and said, "Get up and eat. Otherwise the journey will be too long for you." He got up and ate and drank, and then he went in strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights to Horeb, the Mount of God. Nobody should be a stranger. Nobody should sleep hungry. We live in the greatest country in the world where businesses and individuals throw away food daily. You do not have to be like me, but you can help a stranger and give them food to eat without any biases, condemnation, or criticism. Get familiar with people's stories and know who they are. Share spiritual food and physical food to help someone overcome their struggles. The woman I invited to my home and had Thanksgiving dinner with us, I got to know her stories and her struggles. She was going through personal problems and health issues with family problems as well. She was not hungry, but needed spiritual food to fill her soul, and I listened to her and gave her physical food to nourish her soul to begin her journey in Connecticut. Are you willing to help a stranger? To invite your neighbors to eat with you? Be a blessing to someone by making a sandwich or volunteering to feed the poor in your community. Be like the angel who woke Elijah up to eat, because there was food for Elijah to eat to give him strength to continue his journey. Liberia has a rich history culture, and the people are truly kind with good hospitality. Liberians like to celebrate with tasty food and drinks. Nobody is a stranger in Liberia despite poverty and disagreements. Food will bring people together, especially our famous West African cuisine called jollof rice. Jollof rice, Liberians celebrate their culture with jubilee and food. Rice is the staple food. Jollof rice is served on every occasion, including weddings, holidays, funerals, and birthdays. Just name it. It symbolizes success and happiness. Jollof rice is a rich West African dish, but is prepared with different spices based on the region. West Africans are having a debate about which country have the best jollof rice. I'm proud to say Liberia has the best jollof rice. You can look in the e-news in Trinity, bulletin input on Trinity website and find a recipe, or you can look at the back of your program today. There is jollof rice recipe there. West Africans are, everyone shares food in Liberia with strangers, with the poor, even though they don't have enough. It is the kindness of people that take care of the poor and give them strength to continue their daily journey. I was fortunate that my parents always had enough food to share with strangers and neighbors. I grew up with the passion of sharing and doing good for humanity. and to never be afraid to do good for anyone because we are all on assignment for God. Remember, there is no stranger. Feed and help the poor. Love your neighbors as yourself. Help others if you can. Be kind and share with our season. I will leave you with a prayer from Matthew 25:35. States, "For I was hungry and you give me food. I was thirsty and you give me a drink. I was a stranger and you welcome me." Amen.